welcome to another video and welcome to episode 3, I think, of Bookbox Battle. So I have got Fairy Loot and Illumicrate with me today. As usual, if you haven't seen any of the rest of my Bookbox Battle videos, I will link the playlist up here somewhere. But I'm going to unbox these two. I'm then going to be pulling 2 books out of my jar of past Bookbox books. I'm going to do a first chapter challenge on those books, choose which one to read. Hopefully I really like it and I can read the second one. That hasn't happened yet, but we will see. One caveat before I get into everything. I'm in a fantasy slump. Now, I did last year have a subscription to Afterlight by Illumicrate, and I have got 4 unread Afterlight books on my shelves. So, on the fairly high chance that I don't pick one of them out of this jar, I am going to randomly select one of my 4 Afterlight books as a wild card that will go in as a 5th option. Again, depending on what it is, depending on how the first chapter goes, there is a chance I'm still going to pick one of the fantasies to read, but I wanted to give myself the opportunity to not have a fantasy, just in case, because like I said, I am in a fantasy slump. So, with all that said and done, let's get unboxing. I'm going to start off with Fairy Loot, mainly because it's on the top. So this is the adult Fairy Loot. This is a book-only subscription where you get a new adult fantasy. The theme is Vikings. I do know what book this is. Throw the box on the floor. So, we've got very, very lovely edges. They go all the way around. I've got a author letter in here. Oh, this is pretty. This is pretty. So the book is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. We haven't got a reverse dust jacket this time, but we have got some stunning foiling on the cover. So, I'm going to level with you. Oh, I forgot as well, we've also got this end paper artwork that is different, and the book is signed. So like I said, I'm going to level with you. I have read The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen, and I didn't enjoy it. I think I have read at least one Viking book. I don't know if I have. I know I've definitely DNF'd 1 or 2 Viking books, but I have heard nothing but fantastic things about this book. So I am a little bit nervous because I haven't enjoyed what I've read from this author before. This isn't necessarily a genre that I tend to really enjoy. But again, I've heard fantastic things, so I'm excited to read the first chapter and see where we go with this one. But book 1, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. Let's get into Illumicrate. So Illumicrate, if you didn't know, is a fantasy subscription where you get a YA or adult new release fantasy book, plus 4 or 5 goodies. The theme this month is Caged Hearts. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so first of all, we've got a House of Night drinking glass inspired by the Serpent and the Wings of Night. I really want to read that. Oh, I like this. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, right. So this is a glass that has got serpents on it. It has got a quote there, "Death was everywhere in the House of Night," and it is a kind of jar glass with a lid. The straw is silicone. I don't know how I feel about that. I might like it, I might not. I don't know how I feel about a silicone straw. I don't know if I like the feel of that. However, I have got millions of metal straws that I can very easily replace this with. So my friend actually gave me a drinking glass that was very similar to this from Owlcrate a few months ago, which I really, really like. So I'm really excited to have a second one of these. So happy about that. Next, we've got a sword. Look, if you've seen any of my unboxings, you'll know I'm not a fan of these. This is a trident. Is this a Percy Jackson trident? Alton's trident. Oh, from the Poppy War. So that is pretty cool. That is quite cool. I do like that. But like I said, I'm not a fan of these. I don't see where I'm ever going to use them, so they're just not something that I personally enjoy. Next we've got Fairy Tale Feast keyring. So this is inspired by the Book Eaters and is a keyring with a book that says fairy tales on it. I do like this. I do need a new keyring actually, because I've broken mine. And then we've got this little pouch. What is this? Crow's foot pouch. It's a transparent pouch inspired by One Dark Window. So yeah, I can see this as quite a good little toiletries pouch for traveling. It's a nice, that's a decent sized toiletries pouch. I like that. I can see that being a useful item. I'm a fan of that. My favourite item is definitely the drinking glass. I really like that, and I think I actually quite like the keychain, which is a strange one because I normally am not a fan of kind of things like that. But next we're on to the book. Throw the books away. So the book has got these solid top and bottom ends and this kind of stained glass, I would say, edge. The book is To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. It looks very pretty. We again don't have a reversible dust jacket, but we have got foiling underneath. Foiling underneath on the hardback. We've got end papers, and it is of course signed. Do we have a map? I love a map. We don't have a map. That's sad. I actually don't know anything about this one, but this one actually has got raised, you can't see, but it's got raised letters on the spine and on the front, which is really nice. Anywho, so these ones, A Fatington Blood and To Cage a God, are my first two books on my book box battle. Let's give the jar a shake and get two more out, and then again potentially getting a romance. Go with this one off the top, which is Jade Fire Gold. I'll go and get that one in a second. And I've got one down here. I'm going to get that one from the bottom, which is the Hurricane Wars. Let me get that one as well. So I've got here Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan and the Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. Because they are both fantasies, again, unsurprisingly, I am going to do a random number to select a afterlife romance. So I'm going to go with number 1, 2, 3 and 4. I've got a random number generator up on my phone, and let's just generate 3. Oh, that's kind of the one that I really wanted. That is True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. To be honest, that is the one that I am most excited by from this stack. So, this is my stack of books to read the first chapter of. I don't think I have read the first chapter of any of these. I don't think any of them have had a first chapter challenge before. Potentially I have read the first part of this one, but I don't think I have. In terms of my predictions, this one is YA. I feel like this one's possibly going to be a no. I feel like this one is possibly going to come out top. I hear very mixed things about the Hurricane Wars, so I don't know where that one's going to go. I don't know about To Cage a God. I'm going to put those two just like that. I think The Fate Inked in Blood, because I know quite a few people who've really loved it. That one there could be good. But I think this is going to be my orders, with the one that I'm probably going to read and the one that I'm least likely to read. These are my predictions. Can we just appreciate the beautiful edges? But I better get reading some fresh chapters, and I will catch up with you and let you know which one I'm going to start reading soon. Okay, I have done my reading of the first chapters. I decided I wasn't going to film me reading them all. But I'm going to just go through the synopses and my thoughts on each one. So to start off with A Fate Inked in Blood. So this is a Nordic inspired fantasy. We're following Freya, who is bound in an unwanted marriage to a man whose name I can't remember, I can't pronounce. She dreams of being a warrior. However, one day the region's Jarl puts her in a fight to the death against his son. To survive, she's forced to reveal her deepest secret. She possesses a drop of goddess's blood, which gives her magic capable of repelling any attack. So the Jarl believes that he's destined to rule Scarland, and binds Freya with a blood oath. So I read the first chapter, and I'll be honest, wasn't the biggest fan. I'm not generally drawn to Norse mythology, and this didn't suck me in. However, again, I do want to caveat all of this. Like I said earlier, I am in a fantasy slump, so this doesn't at all mean that I don't think I will enjoy this book or I will read this book. At the moment, it didn't suck me in, but I'm not really feeling fantasy. Next, I've got The Hurricane Wars by Thea Granzen. So this follows a character who was left on the steps of an orphanage as a baby. All she's ever known is the Hurricane Wars. She doesn't know who she is and where she comes from. She wants to find her source of magic. And then there is another character who I assume is on the other side of this war. The prologue was fine. I've already forgotten what happened. Yeah, I read the prologue 10 minutes ago and I've already forgotten what happened in it. It feels fairly forgettable, so not the one I'm going to be picking up at the moment. And again, this doesn't mean that they're going to be bad books. I'm sure I will read these at some point, but just not right now. Next I've got To Cage a God. So synopsis on this one, we have two characters whose mother grafted gods into their bones. They've been granted forbidden power and they've been raised as living weapons. Their mother is now gone and their country's on the brink of war. It falls just to the sisters to take the helm of the rebellion and enter the cruel reign of a royal family possessed by destructive gods. I actually quite enjoyed the beginning of this one. This one intrigued me. I was interested. It gripped me. I could have continued reading into the first chapter. I did only read the prologues for these ones because, if I'm totally honest, I'm tired and I didn't want to read the first chapters as well. But this one did intrigue me. I would be interested in continuing this one. So I am excited to see if this one comes out again, if I can get to it. Next, and again, I'm surprised that this one got this high, was Jade Fire Gold by Jean C. L. Town. So in this one, we've got a character who is Anne, who has no one with no family. Alton is a lost heir, his future stolen away as a child. When they meet, Alton sees Anne as a path to reclaiming his throne. Anne sees Alton as a way to finally unlock her past and understand her magical abilities, but they both have to pay a far deadlier price than either could have imagined. The prologue really intrigued me, really gripped me. I want to continue reading and see what was going on, so very intrigued by that one. And unsurprisingly, the book that I am going to read for this vlog is True Love Experiment. So this one, we're following Fizzy Chen, who is a romance author, and she is lost. She's had an amazing career, but she's realised she's never been the main character in her own story, and she has never been in love. Then we've got the other character, Connor Price, who's a documentary filmmaker. His profit-minded boss orders him to create a reality TV show, and he has a chance run-in with Fizzy, and they decided to create the True Love Experiment. It's a little bit more to it than that. I've never read anything by Christina Lauren, and I'll be totally honest, compared to some of the other romances that I've read recently or picked up, this isn't the most intriguing prologue that I've ever read, but of the pile of books I've got in front of me, it is the one that I think I'm going to pick up first. I do read romances a lot quicker than I read other books, so I would really like to try and get to Jade Gold as well if I possibly can. But again, I am being kind to myself while I am in this fantasy slump, and I'm not going to push myself to read a book for the sake of it when I'm not feeling it. But book one for the book box battle vlog is The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This is the order of the books that it came out in, which is in fact almost, for these four anyway, it's almost complete opposite to what I thought it was going to be. I'm surprised and disappointed that I didn't enjoy A Fate Inked in Blood as much. I am excited by Decade Your God though, because I enjoyed that one a lot more. The Hurricane Wars, for reasons best known to myself, I put on my 5-star prediction list. Since then I have seen reviews and heard people who've read it, and I've not heard very many good things about it, so it might not make a 5-star even though it's on my 5-star prediction list. But these are the books that it's the order of the books I'll be trying to get through this week. I obviously am not going to read all 5 books. I will try and get through 2 if I can. But let me know what order you'd have put those books in, and I will start reading and catch up with you when I've read a bit. Bye. Hello. It is Monday night and I feel like I should finally update this vlog. So I'm reading True Love Experiment. Okay, here's the thing. I thought this might finally be the month where I can actually like crack on and get a couple of books read. It's like, yeah, I'm cheating. I've put a romance on the book box battle TBR, but I can read it quickly and then I can get to another book and then get 2 books done. Boom, and I'm amazing. But no. I had 2 books that I had to read for work over the weekend, and that took me all weekend. So I'm currently 125 pages into True Love Experiment, that far through. It's fine. This is my first Christina Lauren book that I've read, so I don't know if it is the book, if it is the author, if it is me, but I'm not massively excited by it so far. I like the concept. The concept is there is a dating show. Connor is going to be the producer, Fizzy is going to be like the female star, and obviously they fancy each other. Brilliant, great. And also, you know, we know where it's going to end up. And so yeah, I'm enjoying the concept. I'm not particularly liking Fizzy's personality. I find her quite irritating. I find her chapters a bit and to be honest, same with Connor, if I'm totally honest. I prefer him, but I don't love him. He's meant to be from Blackpool, and I find that a really weird choice because Blackpool is not like a sexy place. And Fizzy's like, oh, in the UK, sounds like it's full of pirates. Blackpool is like a knockoff Vegas, if you've not been there or not heard of it. And yeah, it's a weird choice. It's a choice and it's an odd one. It just seems a strange place for them to have set their British male love interest. Yeah, I can't really explain any more than that, but then it's just seems a little bit odd. But yeah, so far it's fine. Like, you know, I'm reading it. That's all I can say. Like, it's not in danger of being a DNF. It's probably gonna come, like, at the moment it feels like a kind of solid 3-star, 3.5 maybe. You know, it feels like a solid okay book. I can't see it doing anything that is going to surprise me or is going to make me change my mind on the fact that it's a solid okay book. It might, I kind of hope it does, but I can't see how, if that it's going to do anything that's kind of, you know, different or unique. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading The True Love Experiment. I have this. Hello, it's Tuesday evening. So I am currently just shy of 300 pages into The True Love Experiment. So I'm 3/4 of the way through. We are about the third act breakup. And I hate it. The breakup, that is. I was really enjoying the book up to this point. But, and I won't give spoilers, but the third act breakup, basically Connor admits something that's happened in his past. He's very vulnerable and sort of, you know, speaks about something that he's done in his past. And they're in bed together at this point. Fizzy jumps up and runs out of the room. And it's like, no, we can't be together. We barely know each other. You're not the man who I thought you were, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. He's being very, very vulnerable and admitting something that he did 10 years ago, one time, not to you, and you're immediately throwing away this budding relationship. Like, that just really frustrates me, because I also feel like it doesn't make sense. For the rest of the book, they've been very open in communication and talking things through and, you know, actually being like a fairly decent couple. And this feels like we've put in a third act breakup because we have to have a third act breakup, but they couldn't think of a better third act breakup to put in, so they've just gone like, we'll just make them break up now. We're at the point where they need to break up. And like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel realistic. I don't like it. I'm really frustrated because I know in my last update I was saying I can't see how it's going to get any better than like a good 3-star. And you know what it did? The characters grew on me and I was like, yeah, I am enjoying this. But I really, really don't like the way that it's just, the turn it's just taken. Because I also feel like, again, it's a romance book. We all know the plot beats. We know there's going to be the third act breakup. They're going to pine over each other, and then one of them's going to either realise that they were wrong, or someone, a third party, is going to come and go, you're a dick, take him back. And the thing is that the thing that she's breaking up with him over is not a deal. Like, I mean, yes, it is. It's a big deal if it had happened to you, if he'd done it multiple times, if he'd... But once, 10 years ago, and he's regretted it for those previous 10 years, like, mate, no. Yeah, this is now quite frustrating, I'm afraid. I'm going to finish it. I've got 100 pages left. The problem that I've got is this is my first book by Christina Lauren, and I've always thought that they are an author who I really like. So I own at least 3 or 4 other books by Christina Lauren. And I don't know if The True Love Experiment is just not a good book of theirs, or if I'm just not vibing with their writing. Either way, I don't really want to read another book by them right now, because I'm not vibing with this one. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. Hello. I'm now 330 pages in. So the thing that annoyed me with the third act breakup, she got over it literally 10 pages later. What was the point? Like, what was the point of putting that whole drama in for her to then go, oh yeah, no, actually I was being a dick, wasn't I? Like, at least have her kind of, think about it for more than 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm not really... that was the other point. I remembered I had actually got a point that I was going to come on here and say. I've only just realised that this is a sequel. And that the soulmate equation is book 1. Like, technically they're companion novels. But I was reading it thinking, I feel like I should know some of this backstory. Like, this feels like something has happened and I don't know what it is. Turns out, yeah, something had happened. And I didn't know what it was because it all had happened in the first book and that I wasn't aware I had to read before I read this one. So my point on that, really, is Afterlight. If you're going to include a sequel in your boxes, tell us that you're including a sequel in your box, because, yeah, I didn't know. Maybe I'm the only one who didn't know, but I didn't know. Anyway, I'm going to give you my full thoughts when I finish the book, but I feel like, at this point, 330 pages into this 400-page book, I'm just a little bit bored with it. Like, it feels a very generic romance. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything that I haven't read before. And obviously we all know that romances have specific plot beats. We know what's going to happen. You very rarely get a fully unique romance. Appreciate that. But I love romances. But this just feels like there's nothing that makes it stand out. I honestly suspect that by the end of the month, when I come to do my March wrap up, I am going to really struggle to say what my thoughts, feelings, or what this book was about. Hey darling, you decided to sit on top of me, have you? You silly. Yeah, which isn't the mark of a great book, is it? If within a month while reading it, you know that within a month you're going to forget what it's about. But apparently I'm just going to be sat on for a bit. What are you doing? But yeah, I'm gonna try and finish the book. I might not finish it completely tonight, but I will read for another half an hour or so with this little girl. I don't know what she wants. She might want to go out. Hey, hello. Beautiful girl, aren't you? You're the most beautiful girl. Are you? Hello. It is 10 p.m. and I have finished reading The True Love Experiment. Okay, the end. I did like the end. I liked the grand reveal. Obviously, I knew what the end was going to be because it's a romance, but I did like the reveal. Obviously I've got many issues with this book. I haven't rated it yet because I've literally just this second finished reading it. I don't know what to think. Like, I feel like I stand with my thoughts from earlier that it's a nice book. Oh, sorry, I'm here looking at this. I'm trying to work out whether that purple is a different colour to that purple and whether that's just because it's faded or not. It must, I think it has a little bit. Anywho, or is it meant to be an ombre? Don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's a nice book. It's just not anything groundbreaking. And while I don't necessarily think that every single book needs to be completely I don't necessarily think that every single book has to be completely groundbreaking and, you know, totally unique. And I do think, especially with romance, there is so much kind of like of a basic structure. But I just feel like, I don't know, something in this didn't work. And the other thing that I feel about this one, and this is weird, have you ever read The One by John Mars? Because that is about a DNA dating service which matches people up. But that's like a thriller where you kind of ended up having, you know, the police officer paired with the serial killer. And I kept on thinking of The One while reading this, because I feel like it's that kind of like sci-fi vibe. Although saying that, if, what's it called again, DNA Duo, if that was a real thing, I 100% would do it. I think it sounds like a good idea. But yeah, there's something about this that just didn't vibe with me. Like I said, I haven't rated it. I will rate it probably tomorrow and like let you know my thoughts on it. But my gut feeling is it's probably around about a 3.5. Like, it's solid, it's good, I liked it, it's nice. Like, I just don't have really anything to say. It was a good book. And you know, sometimes those are the worst kinds of 3 stars, where there's nothing bad about it, it's just fine. But it is now Tuesday evening. Normally I like to try and get my vlogs wrapped up by Thursday, but I am going to start reading Jade Firegold. She says this book feels a lot bigger now picking it up. 450 pages. I think this is going to take me a little bit longer than Thursday. It's going to take me more than 2 days to read it. But I do want to read it because I feel like, first of all, I feel like I was totally cheating by putting the True Love Experiment on my book box battle TBR. This did not come out of the jar. I just put it on and like knew that I was going to be reading it. I feel like the first chapter of Jade Firegold was intriguing. Actually, I didn't read the first chapter, it was the prologue. But yeah, I thought it was intriguing, so I am curious to continue reading. And I do get the feeling that if I don't read this book now, I am never going to read this book. So I think I should read it. That is my thoughts. This one was a Fairy Loot YA from quite a while ago, 2021 it says there. It's kind of been slightly toying with the unhaul like pile for the last couple of years, so if I'm not vibing with this, there is a chance I'm going to DNF, and again, that's fine. I don't really read YA fantasy anymore, so yeah, we're going to see how we get on with that one. But I am going to go to bed and, well, go to bed, really. I'll catch up with you tomorrow when I am reading Jade Firegold. Hello, it's Wednesday night. I'm going to do a very, very quick update. I'm watching Becca's sprints on Patreon. and there's 1:43 left of the timer. So I'm 200 pages into Jade Fire Gold, so I'm basically at the halfway point, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's reminding me of Girls, Paper and Fire and the Poppy War, but without like all of the darkness of the Poppy War. Like sort of the first half of the Poppy War, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I do feel like now, 200 pages in, our two characters have just come together. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a bit more plot now. So far we've got our two characters, Arne and Alton. Arne has sort of been caught doing magic, which is illegal, and she's then been taken to the Emperor, and turns out that she is the daughter of the like war general, supposedly. I don't believe that. Alton is officially he is technically the crown prince, but his father was killed and he's been presumed dead since a child. He also does magic, and he's also looking for Arne because he believes that Arne is the only one who can kind of stop this like blight on their land. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm surprised I'm enjoying it. Like I was saying earlier, this is a book that's sat on my shelf since 2021. It's been at risk of unhaul so many times. I've kept on looking at it and gone, oh, I'm going to get rid of it. And to be totally honest with you, the only reason I've kept it is because it's a Round the World book. The author's from Singapore. That is the only reason I've kept it. But things are going to go off. I'm enjoying it, and I will catch up with you later. Hello, it's Thursday evening. So I'm still reading Jade Fire Gold, and do you know what? I'm really enjoying this. I'm about 350 pages in, slightly less than that actually, 300 pages in. But yeah, I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying this. It is still giving me the vibes. It's not giving me quite so much Girls of Paper and Fire vibes anymore, and I guess it's also not really giving me quite so much Poppy War vibes. We're now our two characters are on a quest through the desert, and I am really enjoying it. It's sort of giving me, I guess, vibes maybe of We Hunt the Flame. I'm going to actually just look up. I'm assuming it's a duology at least, based on the fact I've got 150 pages left and we have got a hell of a lot of plot to cover. We can't wrap this book up in what's left. Let's have a look. It must be a series. Goodreads isn't telling me it's part of a series. I might have to do some like deeper investigation into that. But yeah, I'm genuinely surprised how much I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not going to be a 5-star, it's not going to be a new favourite. It's probably going to be like on the lower end of a 4-star. But for a YA fantasy, bearing in mind I haven't really read and enjoyed any YA fantasy for probably 2 years now. It's been sat on my shelves, really at risk of unhaul for at least, probably again, 3 years. I'm really enjoying it. I like it. It's good. So I've got about 150 pages left. I'm probably not going to finish reading it tonight because quite honestly, I can't be bothered. I might read a bit more. I might get up to like the 350 page, but I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight. But I'm enjoying it. This is the exact kind of book that I wanted this book box battle like vlog series to give me, because this is the sort of book that I would never have picked up by myself. It would have sat on my shelves for another 3 or 4 years, and it would have ended up being unhauled, unread, just because the synopsis, the title, the fact it's a YA fantasy, nothing in it makes me go, oh, I'm really intrigued by that book. But the prologue intrigued me, and I'm really happy that I've picked it up and that I've actually, got got through it. So hello, it's Friday afternoon and I have just finished reading Jade Fire Gold. I liked it. Again, and I know I've said this a few times, I'm surprised how much I enjoyed it. I do feel like, honestly, I don't know if it's a standalone or a series. So I can't see anything saying that it is a series, but the epilogue leaves it open to have a sequel. Which makes me suspect that it was written to be a series, but book 2 hasn't been written yet, or hasn't been published yet. I do feel as well that the pacing towards the end was a little bit off. So I think it was possibly my last update, but I was at about 300 page mark, I was saying that I was assuming it was going to be a sequel because there was a lot of plot to cover in 150 pages. All of that plot was covered in 150 pages. So I think at that point, at that 300 page mark, our characters were just about to journey on this quest to find this magical object, which will mean that they can then have the big battle and save the world. And they did all of that in the last 150 pages. The big battle to save the world was about 3 pages. And I wanted more of that. I just wanted that to have been expanded a little bit. And again, I don't think that big battle needed to be pages and pages long. It didn't need to be chapters long, but it was very, very rushed. And I wanted a bit more depth. For example, there were parts where a character had been kidnapped and tortured, but we didn't see any of that happen. We don't know why. We don't know what the results were. It was just, where's so-and-so? Oh no, he's bleeding on the wall. Fight, fight. Oh, we're all good now. It was just a little bit quick at the end. But, like I said, I am really surprised how much I enjoyed this book. I did, and again, I know I have said this so many times, but I did not expect to enjoy this book. This is not a book that I thought I would be picking up, really, ever. It's something that if I hadn't been doing this challenge, I would not have picked this book up. It is, but I am so pleasantly surprised. I mean, granted, I'm not convinced it's going to be one that's going to stay in my collection. It possibly will be unhauled now because I've read it and I think it can go to a better home. But yeah, I have enjoyed it. And I feel like this is the first time in the book box battle where I have read a book that has surprised me, and also that I don't. Yeah, in January, I think I read Feybound, which I think I would have picked up anyway. In February, I read Starling House, which again, I think I would have eventually picked up anyway. I don't think by myself I would have picked up Jade Fire Gold. So yeah, that it literally was the whole point of this challenge, was to read these books that I've been getting in subscription boxes for the last 5 years and not reading. And I am so, so happy that I have read it, and it's been a success as well. But saying all of that, I'm going to wrap this vlog up. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know if you have read either of the books that I have read in this vlog and what your own thoughts were on them. If you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe down below. Leave me a flame emoji if you just want to let me know that you were here, because that's both, you know, spicy for the romance, and the other one's Jade Fire Gold and Fire. But thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.